We're going to talk about Will Smith as somebody was.
Yeah.
You want to read your article?
Sure.
Let's do your article.
Will Smith just posted a belated apology to Chris Rock for Slapgate, proving that everything in Hollywood is fake.
Fake. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing when I was looking at all the press for Beyonce with like her album leaks 2 days in advance. And then Khalees says she stole a one of her like something from one of her songs to put in it. I'm like, and this all just happens to come out right as you're about to launch an album, giving you fantastic press. It's all
it would be even faker.
Fake.
It'd be
all
even faker if it were on Tidal.
Yeah,
only.
That's hilarious.
I wondered that when I saw it because I thought otherwise I would not know a thing about this album.
Yep,
No.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's all fake.
I would be happy living
only
my
other
life.
reason I knew about Beyonce's new album is the Me Too probe that she was doing.
That we did, yeah, we covered that.
And we covered that. But I think that might have been a fake PR move too. I don't know anymore.
Yep.
But I was surprised this morning, like many of you, to see Will Smith come back to YouTube with about a 6-minute video titled "It's Been a Minute." ... And he has finally come back to publicly apologize for the Slapgate incident at the Oscars back in March.
Should we play the first part of it?
Yeah, I think it's better to play this just so you guys can see the tone is very robotic and weirdly, it feels scripted. Even the sigh at the beginning.
I was like, I bet you like they put that in post production.
Yeah.
It's like
Bro's grunting.
like a sound.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk.
Okay, I think that's enough to just translate the tone of the video.
Is it just because now everything we do is digital, so nothing feels real, just simply because we all watch it digitally? Like if this conversation had happened to them in person, it would have sounded a lot more sincere. But because nothing we consume is consumed in the real world right now, everything of any level of sincerity feels fake.
Well, yeah, something I wanted to add to this article but ended up taking out because I think it ventures into a larger conversation than I intended was that for celebrities, all human interactions are just as impersonal as on-screen performances, and this is one of Will Smith's many on-screen performances. He has hired videographers, set designers, PR script writers, editors, lighting, like everything. You can tell it's a very polished professional look to the video, and he almost certainly has like someone showing him like on a card like or a teleprompter what to say next, and you can tell it's not organic. I'm honestly confused why the comments are responding positively. A lot of them are saying like, I'm so proud of you for coming out and apologizing, like this is great, I missed you.
If you liked him ahead of time, if you liked him before you saw this and then you saw this apology, you're going to be predisposed to take it as sincere. I actually have no opinion on whether I think he looks like he's on Xanax to me. Like
really?
Like his eyes don't meet his face, like the way he's talking. He looks a little bit like to me.
I don't know.
I don't know if I buy that it's insincere, but I definitely don't believe that anything that happens in Hollywood is real. So even if he actually feels these things, just the to go through the effort of setting up an actual set, hiring an editor, that sigh at the beginning was put in by an editor, and it was put at that place as a choice.
And
right?
another thing I wanted to mention was the light that was placed behind his head as a literal halo.
Yeah. Yep.
Like an angelic halo.
Which means there's probably a director who's like, and we'll put a light behind it.
And they think that they can get one over on us. Well, I guess they're right.
Or they're getting it over on people, yeah.
On all the comments section. I only found one comment that was critical of him 3 hours into this video being posted that said, "I'm so proud of him for making a much needed genuine apology in a corporate mandated and produced video. Let's go."
It would have done him more good to do it on his phone. To just film it on his phone and make the same speech.
I mean, it would have been better if he had just initially, when the incident happened, made a video organically reacting to the situation and apologizing, rather than waiting, how many months has it been later, like 3-4 months later, when he finally feels ready to return to working.
Yeah.
That's what he wants, is to break the ice and get some work offered to him finally.
He said something in there.
Well, he's
like,
got projects in the works already. They're going forward.
I mean, I'm sure they don't care.
They're going forward
This is
with
just
with the new Bad Boys movie, no matter
This
what.
is just a precursor to him re-entering the public eye.
Yep.
He said something about like he's reached out and Chris isn't ready to talk to him yet, as if like you smack somebody, they owe you their time for you to talk to them about it.
Well, like, I saw the whole thing, like, you said, what, Chris's mom was like,
He was like, I didn't realize how many people I hurt with my actions, like, and then apologized to Chris's mom, who was attention-seeking in a bunch of interviews after the fact. A lot of people were attention-seeking in interviews after the fact because you get to have your special take on the situation.
His Chris Rock's brother was, like, leaning into this really hard after this happened.
Yeah, there were a lot of cases of that.
So he's got Emancipation in post-production, The Council is in pre-production, Fast and Loose is in pre-production, Bad Boys 4 is in pre-production. So it's not hurting his career.
No, I never thought it would.
No,
I just think
was
he
gonna.
needed to, like, as a PR move, break his silence. And he like stuck the landing. What I think is, this was always low stakes for him.
Yeah.
It was the perfect mistake and the perfect apology to make for any PR team. This is like a W all around, because I made sure to write in the article that his offense being violent is like the most convenient part of this.
Yeah.
Because in an era where words are violence, where silence is now violence, and violence in response to offensive jokes or comments is deemed acceptable as self-defense. You're defending your existence.
Yeah.
And I did nod to Dave Chappelle getting attacked on stage.
Isn't it interesting how you can hit somebody in the heat of the moment and you'll be forgiven because you were acting in the heat of the moment, but if you say something in the heat of the moment, what you're
then
really doing,
never
okay.
And that shows the deepest, darkest part of your character and indicts you as a human, and you're never to be redeemed.
So if you were to take that logical belief that what you say at your angriest moment is who you are entirely, does that mean that who he is entirely is violent because in his angriest moment he decided to punch someone? No, that's not true.
What I think is that he has a fragile ego and a fragile marriage, and he lashed out one night.
I said the hardest part of all this is he's still married to Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah. So like, I also I noted that like, if this is such a low stakes, easy, like, home run video to make, why was he acting so somber and robotic? And I think that the logical explanation is Jada.
Yeah.
That she is putting this pressure on him because she can be the victim of this situation. She's implicated because he lashed out in some misguided attempt to defend her honor. And
he makes sure to point out that it was not her fault.
And it wasn't her that, she said nothing to me after rolling her eyes. It was all me. I did nothing at her behest, what he stressed in the video. I think that that's why he was acting so somber, like as I said, like he was staring down the barrel of a gun in the video, because this is like the easiest thing to recover your reputation from.
I said things
this
like,
point.
I was like, I love a good redemption story. I love a good redemption story, but this is it's not a redemption story. It's like he was never in trouble to begin with. It's all manufactured from the start anyways. Now, if him and Chris were to get up on stage and I was to believe that this was not beneficial to both of their careers and they buried the hatchet in some, like if somebody caught a video of them burying the hatchet for the first time, I might like it. But even then, I'm like, how did that person just happen to catch that moment?
Yeah.
But anytime you see it, like if you see it on video, if you see them at some event where they see each other for the first time, the fact that there's cameras recording it means that it's being monetized. So I'm automatically cynical.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Another thing about the backlash that I wanted to bring up, and my hot take that I voiced before we went live that now I'm gonna say in full, is I almost thought that Will Smith's Slapgate was kind of based if he was like doing what all the celebrity class was accusing him of doing, which is stripping the Oscars event of its prestige.
Yeah.
We covered this, I think, this op-ed, who wrote it? I think it was Harry Lennox.
Harry Lennox is he's an actor. He's actually a well-known actor.
He wrote this op-ed saying that what he did, his brutality, stripped the entire evening of its prestige.
Yeah.
Which is a point that is so far from the sensibilities of any ordinary American who would be watching.
Yep.
That I just had to point out, like, if Will Smith did that and that was his offense, I think that's based. I don't think that's what happened.
That's not what happened.
I think it was actually a rather pathetic display.
If anything, it brought relevance back to an extremely dead art form, which is the art of the award show. Nobody cares about award shows anymore.
That's true.
And it brought a fleeting bit of relevance back to something. Hannah Claire hates award shows, and we had to talk about this at nauseum after that happened. And she's like, I don't freaking care. Because nobody cares. I don't care about award shows.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the most interesting things that have happened at award shows in the last 20 years is Ricky Gervais giving his speech at 2020 Golden Globes, and then this, and that's it. It's got nothing to do with the actual awards, because Hollywood pats themselves on the back and talks about how great they are every day. Every day I'm reading articles about all the great things that they think that they're doing. So they don't need an award show to pat themselves on the back.
So now he's got the 10-year ban. He was called upon to return his little statuette for Best Actor, all because of this. And it's not because they are against violence. It's because they're against being embarrassed on TV. That's what happened to the Motion Picture Academy. I don't think they care about, any decency or civility.
It's sad
because if it's done in an underhanded way, you can do anything you want in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. But if it's over the table, like what he did, he just charged the stage. There is something to be said for how human that is. Mm-hmm. Like, if it's real.
It's sending a pretty dangerous message that physical violence is okay. And if someone says something you don't like, you should just be able to go hit them in the face and it'll be fine. And people will forgive you.
Yeah, I don't mean to say that at all. What I mean is
I agree with the stuff you're saying too, but I just feel like
I'm just saying if this is how things are settled in bars across America, why is it only a travesty when it happens in front of celebrities?
I guess my first thought when I saw the video honestly was, this is fake. This is like when Andy Kaufman used to fight people on live TV, but it was all fake. It was a show. Mm-hmm. And I thought that it was like, well, duh, because it was, a joke that wasn't really seemingly that offensive. It seemed pretty lighthearted, at least the way he said it and how he intended for it to be. So I thought it was fake, but
the G.I. Jane,
which I don't know if he even knew that was something she struggled with. I'd never heard that
I'm
before.
Sure he did,
yeah, I'm sure he did.
But I don't know. Like now, I just think that Will Smith just can't control himself.
I think he should have married literally anyone else besides Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah,
I was looking through his movie list and I'm just shocked at he's not like. he's the amount of incredibly like memorable roles he's had, or these movies that everyone's heard of, is insane.
Yeah.
Like if you look through his IMDb, like he should not be remembered for this or being married to Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah, and I feel
that's
like
what
now
he will
when
be
we
remembered.
mention his name, that is what is talked about. It's very weird how quickly you can switch public opinion.
Especially like I don't know about you guys, but I grew up watching Will Smith movies and seeing him in all sorts of different roles, and now this is what I think about, and like having kind of lost some respect for him and Jada talking about their rocky marriage while also having kids who have a public following. It just seemed inappropriate.
Yeah, I just to me it just I feel bad. Not I shouldn't say that. I don't feel bad. I don't give a crap. But like it sucks.
No,
that
I don't either.
It sucks that all of this will be what he's remembered for. When I'm looking, okay, look at this. You have everyone my age remembers Wild Wild West. Was it good? No, but it was freaking awesome. Okay, Independence Day. He did Focus. He did Bad Boys 2, I, Robot, Hitch. I'm thinking of all these movies, and everyone, if even if you haven't seen it, you've seen the cover at a store somewhere. Hitch, Men in Black, 7 Pounds, Focus, Did you see Concussion? Did anybody here see Concussion?
I didn't.
I Am Legend, Hancock, The Pursuit of Happiness. Everyone's, at the very least, seen the covers of these movies. They have a place in the public consciousness, right? So to do all that, to be an Independence Day, one of the greatest movies of all time, I don't care what anyone says, and to be remembered for being married to a woman that treated him awful, and slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars is like...
What, you said he was a king that married a queen who
didn't treat him like a king. Yeah.
Treat him like a king. Yeah.
She treats him like dirt.
I don't know. I don't think either of them are great people. But I do remember we covered like after Slapgate how these resurfaced clips of one of Jada Pinkett Smith's Instagram live recordings was just her like recording him in their home against his permission, talking about their marriage and like their discussion on Red Table Talk. Yep. And it's just like, you are a ghoulish woman. You're like, and I think, you know, being subjected to that and repressing your anger that much, I would understand, you know, in the case that Slapgate was a real genuine unexpected moment, which I do believe it was, it makes sense in that context. So it bums me out because like, look, I can separate the fact that I hate, and this is one of the biggest problems that I have with Hollywood, is that as much as I hate the facade of the entire industry, as much as I despise the way that actors use society against them, the way that they virtue signal now, I love the medium. I love the art form of film. So to see so many things that were iconic that I loved from someone and have it now be like, I guess it shouldn't really matter because it's not going to affect how I look at those movies. But it will change the public perception, so you have to separate art from It changes
artists.
every conversation you have about the movies.
I think it can influence the way you look at the movies. Like
it can't not.
I wouldn't really feel that inspired to sit down and watch Men in Black when had this not all happened. I probably would have felt very inspired to watch it, but now I'm like, I don't know, I want to look at that guy.
So that doesn't bother me. Like I found that for me most of the time, as long as like the stuff I'm watching is older, before they said the crappy stuff, it doesn't bother me. There's a lot of actors that I watch stuff that I know they say insane stuff on Twitter, and I can watch the old stuff because I have memories of this from before they said that garbage, right? Like,
yeah, I
does that make sense?
So.
Like that might not be for everyone. I know a lot of people.
It depends on the person
when
too.
Mark Hamill started talking crazy on Twitter, that ruined Star Wars for them forever. Like that's not the case for me with a lot of stuff. So
yeah, but a lot of fans are indoctrinated zombies.
Yes,
they'll follow their.
If you're not used to having to didisagree with the celebrities you enjoy.
Maybe that's also just part of
shock.
That too.
Actors, like to me, like this is a weird thing to me where I was like, I wonder if they struggle with the concept that like to be good at their job, they have to be kind of moldable clay, and they should always be that character to you in what they're seeing. So they're fighting this need to both be a public-facing person who has their own brand, who has their own identity, who has their own opinions and views of the world that they have every right to have, but then they also have to go and portray these characters in which you want to be able to go into that experience looking at them as a blank slate, right? Where you don't have preconceived notions of that person before you watch that product, because whether you like it or not, for a lot of people, it does affect how they view things.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it does. It doesn't affect me or you.
Like for the most
part,
we're
desensitized to having to just tolerate that.
And we see a lot of it. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.